Well, hello everyone. It is Saturday morning now at 10 a.m. and I am back on Hibiscus Row, where it is now springtime here in Australia and the weather is just absolutely glorious. I actually leave to go back to America on this coming Saturday, so I will be in America this coming Saturday. And there's Jason watching him. And look at these beautiful, look at this beautiful, that's called a bottle brush. Look at that beautiful bottle brush. Everyone is well. I hope the same with you, Jason. Well, I wanted to come into your Facebook feed this morning, my morning, your evening, to talk a little bit about calendar year end. And it just seems so odd that you all are thinking about Christmas, and here I am sitting in this beautiful climate where it doesn't even feel like Halloween and Thanksgiving are on its way. I mean, how can you be thinking about Halloween when you're thinking about putting on your bathing suit? It is awesome, isn't it? So where should you be at right now with your calendar year-end fundraising? Well, number one, you really need to be, if you haven't already, you need to be looking at your donation page. What does your donation page look like? Is it optimized for mobile? Is it optimized for capturing donations? So meaning, what do your gift strings look like? You know, do you have a photo? Do you have good case for support languaging on it? Do you have perhaps even a video, a call to action? And then if you are doing a coordinated campaign, which I highly recommend, I recommend that you have perhaps a separate landing page for your campaign. So these are things that really should be rushed to completion. The other thing that I highly recommend, and you will know that I've been talking a lot about digital techniques as we've gone throughout the spring and summer and now your fall. And so one of the things that you should be thinking about is capturing some of the visitors to your website and on your Facebook page. What we do know is that folks, the organic reach of Facebook pages has gone down tremendously, and that Facebook is skewing its algorithm toward posts that people would actually are actually looking to see, those related to friends and family and all those kinds of things. So if you have a Facebook page, consider using targeted ads, and also consider putting some type of pop-up or banner ad on your website so that you can begin to capture that traffic. The other thing that you need to be thinking about is ramping up your social media presence now. So sharing some really great stories, some videos, some photos that you may have highlighting the impact of your work. So you definitely want to be sharing that information now in advance. The other tip that I've been recommending, or benchmark that I've been recommending to most of my clients, is sending out some stewardship emails now before November. So we're in mid-October. If you haven't already done that, I would say you need to be at that benchmark within the next week or so. So these are kind of stewardship or cultivation emails that really are demonstrating back to what I would consider you choose as your current donors and non-donors as just two broad segments, not lapsed segments, but two broad segments. So consider sending out an email to them, both your prospective non-donors and your current donors, basically sharing some impact stories and highlighting what their donations have made possible throughout the year. This stewardship email should have no ask associated with it at all. The other thing that you want to be doing, yes, is capturing all of these great stories, photos, videos. You should have already at this point maybe a Dropbox folder with all of them in there. But certainly this is the time to be starting to ramp up your social media presence. This is the time to be thinking about a banner ad on your website, perhaps with a pop-up. And this is the time that you, again, your stewardship emails to donors should be going out or should have already gone out by now. So if you have not done those pre-campaign stewardship emails to your donors, and I would consider non-donors as an engagement segment that you want to kind of try to activate into participating in the campaign, to do that. The other thing is if you don't have your direct mail appeal letter, wow, the wind is picking up here. If you don't have your direct mail appeal letter copy written by now, you need to get on that right away. The other thing that I would look at doing for the month of November is engaging your board members in a thankathon or some kind of phone calling to donors or a segment of donors. And the other piece of that is also sending out some handwritten note cards to some of your top 10, your top 20 donors around Thanksgiving time. So you want to time the arrival of your first direct mail appeal letter to land around mid-November. And then I would highly recommend, so it really needs to be in production. It really needs to be at this point in the proofing stages almost, to meet that deadline, to get it to drop with all the projects that are going on. And I would highly recommend that at this point you are already starting to consider drafting a follow-up email that is going to go out to those that probably have not given to that first, not a follow-up email, but direct mail appeal as well, to those that have not given to that first direct mail e-appeal that went out. So I would already be crafting that, and I would also be crafting an acknowledgement letter that has the same themed messaging as your main appeal or the campaign theme as well. So you should have all of those three pieces ready to go. And again, I talked about, and I'm looking at my checklist because I go through this checklist with each of my coaching clients to see where they're at with their appeals, and with some of my actual clients, helping them put together their calendar year-end efforts. And I would also recommend again that you do the stewardship around Thanksgiving, so board making follow-up phone calls, as well as sending a handwritten note to your top 10 or 20 donors. I would also recommend here that you do some kind of thank you to your volunteers and board members around Thanksgiving, whether that's a direct mail appeal or some kind of internet, or maybe even a text message. A text message would be very personal to them. And that you also have some kind of thank you post, email or social post that goes out to everyone, maybe with a harvest picture or showing the joys of volunteering or of being a donor, that goes out around Thanksgiving time. And around 11/29, which is November the 29th, your banner and your pop-up are ready to go live, and then you start to move into your Giving Tuesday engagement series, and that's a whole other campaign for Giving Tuesday this year. So I hope that that all of you are meeting these benchmarks and that you're there. Hit me with a comment below to let me know where you are, in fact, with your calendar year-end fundraising planning efforts. And if I can be of assistance, please do let me know. And don't forget that I have a great webinar next week on Thursday called Garbage In is Garbage Out, and that is basically about maintaining your database, your data cleanliness, and ensuring that you keep it cleanly through queries, reporting, periodic reconciliation, and data cleanliness reporting and checks, as well as the importance of a data consistency manual, which I will actually provide all those attending the webinar with a copy of the template for a data procedures manual, database procedures manual, or consistency standards, and a process for reconciliation as well, because those should every piece of those should be documented. Reconciliation, what are your standards in terms of entering data into your database, as well as data cleanliness and reporting. So this is, folks, you will not see me live next week. This is my last live now before heading back to the United States. And so I will be coming to you from New England when I arrive there in early November. But it is a beautiful, 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 beautiful time of year here in Australia, where spring has sprung. My nose is sneezing, and just look at the beautiful, they call these bottle brushes. Can you see them? Just absolutely outstanding and gorgeous bottle brushes. Just lovely. Lovely, lovely. Well, everyone have a great week, and I will see you in Facebook land hopefully next week before I fly out.